So, you're sitting at home, sipping your coffee, and you wonder, what's the deal with Pluto? Is it still a planet, or has it been kicked out of the planetary club for good? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride to the icy realms of the solar system's most controversial member, Pluto. Let's be honest, Pluto's life has been one roller coaster of fame, rejection, and attempted comebacks. For nearly 80 years, Pluto was living the high life as a planet. It was the cool kid in the solar system, hanging out with the likes of Earth and Mars. But then, in 2006, the International Astronomical Union pulled the rug out from under Pluto's feet and kicked it out of the planet gang. But does that mean Pluto is totally done? Not so fast. Grab your space boots because we're about to defend Pluto's planetary rights, and I'll give you 3 compelling reasons why this little guy still deserves some respect. Pluto does everything a planet does. Orbits a star. First off, let's clear up the most basic criteria for being a planet. It has to orbit a star. Spoiler alert, Pluto does that. In fact, it orbits our Sun just a mere 5.9 billion kilometers, 3.7 billion miles, away. That's not exactly a quick trip for a planet, but hey, Pluto makes it happen. So, check 1 for Pluto. It's out there, doing what planets do, orbiting a star. Yeah, the Sun is tiny and kind of hard to spot from Pluto, like a dim flashlight in the distance, but it's still there, and Pluto is still orbiting it like a champ. Sure, the Sun's light is barely a whisper out there, but Pluto's orbit around it is solid. You think a star like the Sun would just let any old space rock around it? No. Pluto's been circling that bad boy since forever, proving it knows how to orbit like a true planetary citizen. Pluto has the mass and gravity to be a sphere. The second criterion for being a planet is mass and gravity essentially. You need enough mass to pull yourself into a spherical shape. And guess what? Pluto checks that box too. Some objects out there in space don't have enough gravitational pull to form into spheres. They're all wobbly and weird looking, like the unfortunate asteroid that's shaped like a rubber ducky. Poor thing, but not Pluto. This icy rock is round, like a proper planet. It's got enough mass and gravity to form a spherical shape, which is what you need to earn planet status. So next time someone tries to tell you Pluto isn't a planet, just hit them with the fact that Pluto's round. Round equals to planet, my friend. Pluto 2. Haters 0. The clearing its orbit rule. Now, here's the big one. The third condition for being classified as a planet is clearing your orbit. This means a planet must be big enough and have enough gravitational power to clear the area around its orbit of other objects. Essentially, a planet has to own its lane in the cosmic freeway. And this is where things get a little tricky for Pluto. Pluto shares its orbit with other objects in the Kuiper Belt, an icy region of space beyond Neptune that's full of other dwarf planets, asteroids, and icy objects. Because of this, Pluto can't clear its orbit, meaning it doesn't technically meet the final planetary criterion. So yeah, the International Astronomical Union might have had a point in 2006 when they decided Pluto didn't quite meet all the qualifications. But you know what? If we're being totally honest, this rule feels a bit arbitrary. After all, Pluto's got mass, it's spherical, and it's orbiting the Sun. So what if it shares some space with a few other icy neighbors? Doesn't that just make it the life of the party? Still, if we're playing by the rules, Pluto's stuck in the dwarf planet category. But don't worry, Pluto, we're here for you. You may not have cleared your orbit, but you're still orbiting the Sun in style. Why Pluto got rejected and why it's not fair. Now, let's talk about the real villain in this story, the IAU. In 2006, they decided Pluto wasn't a planet anymore because it shares its orbit with other objects. But honestly, this feels like Pluto got the short end of the stick here. The International Astronomical Union essentially said, hey, you can't be in the planet club anymore because you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. Pluto had been a planet for 80 years, and then suddenly, it was just kicked out. This was like the ultimate cosmic slap in the face. Imagine being told you're part of a group for decades, and then one day, someone decides, nah, you don't fit the vibe anymore. Pluto must have been like, what? What did I do? What's even more frustrating is that the International Astronomical Union didn't have a solid reason for rejecting Pluto. The whole clearing its orbit rule, it was a new addition, kind of like a random rule change in the middle of the game. Pluto didn't lose its planet status because it suddenly became less cool. No, it lost it because of a technicality that wasn't even an issue until someone made it one. Should Pluto be a planet again? Okay, so Pluto isn't technically a planet right now. But let's imagine a world where Pluto is reinstated as a planet. What would that mean? Well, for one, Pluto would have to bulk up. A lot. Right now, it's the smallest kid on the planetary block. But what if it absorbs some of the objects in the Kuiper belt? Maybe, just maybe, it could grow big enough to make the cut. If Pluto were to absorb enough of the icy objects out there in its neighborhood, it could increase its mass and size. In fact, scientists have calculated that if Pluto gobbled up all the stuff in the Kuiper belt, it would have a mass greater than Mercury and almost as much as Mars. That would make Pluto a real heavyweight planet. Its diameter would increase to a whopping 8,500 kilometers, 5,000 miles. Suddenly, it's bigger than Mercury and Mars. Talk about a glow-up. What would Pluto be like as a planet? If Pluto magically gained enough mass to become a full-fledged planet, would it even be a good place to live? Well, probably not. Pluto's far outside the habitable zone of the Sun, meaning it's freezing cold like ice cream will freeze in your bowl cold. The temperature hovers around -232 degrees Celsius, -386 degrees Fahrenheit. Plus, Pluto's rotation is slow, meaning it doesn't have a strong magnetic field to protect it from solar radiation. So even if Pluto became a planet again, it probably wouldn't be the most hospitable place for life. Still, a little ice-covered dwarf planet with big dreams is a pretty cool place to imagine, don't you think? Pluto's redemption. Can it ever be a planet again? In short, no. Pluto is likely never going to be a planet again under the current rules. But here's the thing. Pluto's true value is in the hearts of those who believe in it. It may be classified as a dwarf planet, but it's still a remarkable object in our solar system. The fact that it survived as long as it has despite the cosmic rejection is a testament to its resilience. So let's raise a glass to Pluto. It might not be a planet anymore, but it's still out there, orbiting the Sun, defying the odds, and looking like an absolute legend. As for the IAU's decision to kick it out of the Planet Club, well, maybe it's time for them to give Pluto a second chance. After all, every underdog deserves a shot at the title. And that's a wrap, folks. So whether you're Team Pluto or just here for the drama, remember, this little icy rock is still out there, orbiting the Sun like a boss, with or without planet status. If you're still Team Planet Pluto, drop a like on this video because, let's be real, it deserves some love. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button too, so you never miss out on more cosmic debates, space gossip, and all the crazy things happening out there in the universe.